This is one of those Yankees news days where everything feels connected, and if you blink, you might miss how big it actually is. New signings are already arriving in the Bronx. A fresh partnership around Gerrit Cole is quietly taking shape, and at the same time, Effross is officially moving on. None of this is loud or flashy, but taken together, it tells a very clear story about where this team is heading and how the front office is thinking right now. Today isn't about one superstar move. It's about direction, balance, and setting up the Yankees for the next phase of contention in a smart, calculated way. Now let's break everything down, because this is one of those updates that sounds simple on the surface but gets more interesting the deeper you go. First, let's talk about the new signings arriving, because while these aren't necessarily headline-grabbing superstars, they are the kinds of moves that often end up mattering more than people expect. The Yankees have brought in a mix of depth pieces and targeted additions designed to support the core rather than replace it. These signings are about flexibility, protection, and insurance over a long season. The front office clearly understands that last year exposed how thin the roster could look once injuries started piling up, especially on the pitching side. By adding arms and versatile position players early, the Yankees are trying to avoid scrambling mid-season when options are limited and prices skyrocket. What's important here is that these players are being brought in with specific roles in mind, whether that's bullpen depth, rotation coverage, or defensive versatility. It's a quiet but very intentional approach, and it signals a shift away from reactionary moves toward more proactive roster construction. One of the most interesting parts of this news cycle is how everything seems to revolve around Gerrit Cole, even when the headlines aren't directly about him. Cole remains the anchor of this pitching staff, and the Yankees are clearly making decisions with his workload, health, and effectiveness in mind. The emerging partnership around Cole isn't just about who pitches behind him in the rotation. It's also about how the Yankees manage games when he's on the mound and how they structure the bullpen to maximize his starts. There's been a noticeable effort to pair Cole with arms that can either piggyback innings or take pressure off him late in games, depending on matchups and pitch count. This isn't accidental. The Yankees know that when Cole is at his best and fully supported, the entire pitching staff performs better. Opposing teams feel pressure earlier, games shorten, and the bullpen doesn't get overworked. This kind of strategic alignment around a true ace is something championship teams do, and it shows the Yankees are still very much in a win-now mindset. At the same time, there's a human element to all of this, and that's where Effross comes in. Effross departing may not dominate national headlines, but within the organization and among fans who pay close attention, it matters. Effross was one of those bullpen arms who brought a unique look and real value when healthy, but injuries made consistency difficult. The Yankees faced a tough decision here, balancing loyalty and upside against availability and roster flexibility. Moving on from Effross suggests the front office is prioritizing durability and adaptability in the bullpen moving forward. It's not necessarily a reflection of his talent, but rather the reality of how modern bullpens are built. Teams need pitchers they can count on over 162 games, and unfortunately, injuries can change the math very quickly. Effross leaving opens up opportunities for younger arms or newly signed relievers to step into defined roles, and that competition could ultimately strengthen the bullpen as a whole. What makes this stretch of news particularly interesting is how balanced it feels. There's no panic move here, no blockbuster that screams desperation. Instead, the Yankees are making calculated adjustments across the roster. They're adding where they felt exposed, reshaping partnerships around their best players, and clearing space where uncertainty existed. This is the kind of off-season or early-season management that doesn't always win headlines, but often wins games later in the year. Fans sometimes underestimate how much these smaller moves affect performance in August and September, when fatigue sets in and depth becomes the difference between winning the division and fighting for a wild card. Another thing worth pointing out is how these moves reflect lessons learned from recent seasons. The Yankees have seen what happens when too much pressure falls on a small group of stars. They've also seen how quickly momentum can swing when bullpen arms go down or when the rotation lacks reliable coverage. These new signings are about spreading responsibility more evenly. Instead of asking Cole to be perfect every outing or expecting the bullpen to overperform constantly, the team is building layers of support. That's where the partnership aspect really matters. It's not just Cole as an individual, it's Cole within a system designed to protect and enhance him. From a clubhouse perspective, this kind of activity also sends a message. Players notice when management invests in depth and stability. It tells veterans that the front office is serious about competing, and it gives younger players clarity about roles and expectations. Knowing where you fit makes preparation easier, and preparation leads to better performance. Even the departure of Effross, while difficult, creates clarity. Uncertainty can linger when roles aren't defined, and moving forward decisively allows everyone else to adjust and focus. It's also important to keep expectations realistic. These moves don't guarantee a championship, and they don't erase all concerns overnight. The Yankees will still be judged on health, consistency, and performance against top competition. But what this news does show is a clear plan. The front office isn't standing still, and it isn't waiting for problems to force action. It's anticipating challenges and trying to address them before they become headlines in the wrong way. For fans, this is the kind of update that rewards patience. It's easy to crave massive trades and superstar signings, but baseball seasons are often decided by the quality of a team's fifth starter, seventh-inning reliever, or utility player. The Yankees appear to be building with that reality in mind. If these new signings perform as intended, if the partnership around Cole keeps him effective deep into the season, and if the bullpen reshuffle creates consistency, then this stretch of quiet news could end up being one of the most important parts of the year. As we move forward, keep an eye on how these pieces are used rather than just who they are. Watch how games are managed on Cole's start days, how the bullpen roles shake out without Effross, and how often these new additions find themselves in meaningful situations. That's where the real story will be told. For now, this is a reminder that winning isn't always about the loudest move, but about making the right ones at the right time. And right now, the Yankees are clearly trying to do exactly that.